Testing audio. Yes, Patty.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the April meeting of the Somerville Board of Architectural Review. We had some items on our agenda which are not going to take place since we do not have someone here to administer the oath of office. And y'all want to do the election of officers or wait until we have everybody here?
Let's wait till when we have everybody.
Yeah. Okay, put that off the next time. And then we don't have any minutes yet to approve.
So we didn't have the meeting
In-
last month.
Right.
I have not finished the other minutes, but I know we deferred another set of minutes, so I'll have both of those for you to vote on, when we're back next time.
Okay, and we have no old business.
And we do not have anyone who signed up for public comment.
Okay. So our first order of business is 401 South Magnolia Street.
All right, I will quickly go over the staff report and then we will have the property owner available to talk a little bit about the property and answer any questions y'all have. So this is an after the fact request for 401 South Magnolia Street. The request was to demolish the front steps. The BAR guidelines cited here, just note our standard process of receiving a certificate of approval, and then our guideline regarding demolition, in the historic district. Unless y'all need me to go over the specifics of the staff report, this was just an error in understanding the process. And going forward, if the applicant wants to replace and update the front facade, they will need to provide plans and come back to the board, as right now we're looking at the demolition of the stairs.
What we're doing tonight is approving after the fact the demolition.
Yes. I know there are plans, and if y'all want to speak to those a little bit, if you want to go ahead and step on up, if the applicant is more than welcome to share their future plans, which I believe are reflected in the front facing rendering that they provided, but there may be additional scope that I'm not fully aware of, so I'll let them speak to that. But I'll go ahead, and this is the site here on the corner of East 3rd, South Street and South Magnolia. Here are the front steps in question. And then I'll just jump to, hopefully y'all have had a chance to read this information provided by the applicant when you reviewed the packet. But of course, please feel free to ask them questions on that. And I will just zoom in here. So, well, let's stay here. So we can talk a little bit more about the stairs and the request at hand.
Hi, I'm Rachel Pye, and I'm the property owner of 401 South Magnolia. And first I will start with an apology because we did misunderstand. We had a demolition permit last fall and thought that it covered the steps. These steps became a safety issue rather quickly because the bottom one was broken and the railings, when you would touch it, would sway. And the bottom two steps were leaning. And we had a lot of neighbors who were very curious about what was going on inside the home as far as demolition. And we were very concerned about the liability of somebody falling. So we removed the steps with all the anticipation of fully respecting the process and bringing it to you next month is our goal as of right now, in terms of what we want to bring the home back to. And I do want to make a note that in talking with the Locklayers who previously owned this property, the steps in that previous picture were not historic. It was back in the 1970s is what I understand, that there was concrete added to the porch floor and concrete put over the wood steps because they were rotting and there was termite damage. So they did that as more of a easy measure to replace, well, rather than fully replace. They also, at that time, before the BAR was formed, added vinyl siding to the home, which was the first house in Somerville, we understand, with vinyl siding in the historic district. So it is our goal, which is what this picture is to bring the home back to its original color of white, take the vinyl setting off that is crumbling, and really, if you just touch it, it breaks apart, and keep the original, expose the original wood siding that is currently on the house, and then paint it white, which again, going back to the Locklears, is the color of the home, and they had it for 50 years. So we plan to go back with very simple railing. Well, I say that the railing, we're not sure if it was ever there, but to bring it up to code, we need to have railing on there, and it will mimic several of the homes that are on South Magnolia as of now. And the pillars will stay the same. The steps will go back with wood, which is what we understand was original. And I'm sure we'll be bringing other things to you because as we renovate this house, we're finding a lot of instabilities and things even in the back of the house that we need to make sure are structurally sound before we renovate it. So I welcome any questions. And again, we do apologize that we missed the mark and the permit not covering the removal of the steps, but ask for your approval there. And then we'll have everything to you with, because I understand we have to have engineered, I think I wrote it down.
So for review from the board, we require elevation drawings.
Elevation, yes.
Yes. Engineered drawings are really only required if there was a stability issue or a question of demolition requested for like an entire structure. We wouldn't require you to have structural engineered drawings until permitting, obviously.
Good. And we will plan to meet with you this week because we did get a quote on the elevation drawings just for the steps, and it was over $1,500, which is more than what we would even spend in replacing the wood steps and wood railings. So we'll look for options there.
Yeah, it may be worth if we talk about, you know, kind of your entire vision for the project, and that way maybe we consolidate, you know, your trips to the board. That way, you know, you
Okay.
have documentation for the majority of what you want to do in the, you know, next coming 6 months or year, but we can discuss it. We'll definitely
that
sit
would
down
be
and do that.
great. Because we are so passionate about historic renovation and just really want to bring this home back to its former glory. And it does sit just a couple blocks away from Azalea Park, so it's a really important property to the town. So
Becca, can you go back to the current picture?
So this is a current, this shows the current state of the front door. And what what's the polish is. Correct me if I'm wrong, the handrails and
Yes.
the stairs,
Yep.
stops, but everything else is.
Okay, and we're
Oh, yeah.
just looking at the stairs tonight.
right.
Okay. And would they maintain the current width?
Yes.
Okay.
There is an issue with the whole, I guess the walkway leading up to the steps. So that will probably eventually come out, but we'll either go back with slightly wider or exactly the same width. Because the whole, I think it's the slope of the land.
Yeah,
It
you can
just-
tell where they kind of
Yeah, it's,
go up.
but it is keeping the same columns, even though some of those are compacted where we will maintain the integrity and the same,
I think the issue at hand is just
the steps.
after the fact demolition request. And the changes that will be made will come in a different meeting.
Mhm.
So
Is
what
that
is the,
correct?
what is the current status of the stairs? Are they gone?
They are gone.
They're gone. So
Yeah,
you're
it-
going in another way, or you
Yes.
have,
Yeah, we will not put anything back up there. There is caution tape there right now. We just had a lot of people looking inside the home and we were extremely concerned
Wow.
about liability.
Any other discussion? Can I have a motion?
I can make a motion that we approve the demolition after the fact.
Okay. Do I have a second? Okay. All right, Don,
I'm good for it.
Ken? Beth,
Yes.
Payne,
Yes.
and I also, yes, thank you.
So moving right along. Our next item on the agenda will be for 118 West Third South Street, which many of you are familiar with, Bethany UMC of Somerville. This is a request to paint a mural on the rear of a metal building on the southwestern portion of the campus, which faces Azalea Park. The citation specifically for murals within the UDO references that it is subject to the Board of Architectural Review. That being said, this requested mural will not be visible from the right of way. I've put a red dot on approximately the location oops, jumped ahead, of the mural. It will not be on any part of the brick parts of the building, but just on this rear metal portion. Other than that, I don't have too much to go over. So if someone from the church would like to come up just to be available to answer questions. This is the facade in question.
How are y'all doing?
Just here. And
What would y'all like to know? I'm the minister there. I'm Michael Ritter. So anyhow, had a busy week so far. Anybody be there at Easter Sunday morning by any chance? All right, y'all were other places. So what we're looking at is trying to do something for the Living Christmas Story that we have. That's every year. Don't know if you've come through it. Don't know why you haven't if you haven't. But anyhow, putting that on the back of the building, we are looking at trying to do something like this. As you can tell, one looks better than the other one. It's going to be seen by a bunch of squirrels that are in the trees right there on Azalea Park. There's nothing that's can be seen other than vegetation unless you're driving back there, which is not a thoroughfare unless you're trying to run over kids, which we'd prefer for you not to do that. Hopefully in the morning times with our CDC, they'll be able to go through there and see the, with our Child Development Center, they'll be able to see that and hopefully be excited about something that's going on there at the church. So this would enhance the Living Christmas Story and then also be something there for the kids as well.
Can you tell us the process about applying it? Is it painted or is it vinyl?
So I'm in the
Application.
process of talking to people who do that. I am not the person that knows that kind of stuff. So I've currently talked to one person who has done murals for us locally. And she has, because of, if you see on the top part of that, you'll see that there's rigid area. She says she's not comfortable with that, but she also knows somebody that is comfortable with that, or feels like he is comfortable with that, who has also done murals for us locally as well. So that's just the texture that's there. Probably painting that, spray painting that, and putting that on there would be the way to go. What kind of paint? I am not aware of that either. More than my expertise with that one also.
Becca, is that something that we need to know?
I believe when this was first discussed, and it's been a minute, we talked about it being hand painted, but I know that the church was still looking into finding an artist. So that's kind of the hard thing here. My recommendation for the board would be to consider approving the design with the material being subject to staff approval. You could require it to come back. Honestly, I think the only real real options for painting it on there. And I don't know enough about murals to say this, but would be that it would have to be hand painted or a wrap might need to be applied. In which case the wrap would be covered up anyway. So I mean, I'll leave that up to y'all, with how y'all feel about how you want to address it, but staff is perfectly comfortable with, approving the materials. But the content of the design, if it were to change, would most likely have to come back to y'all.
So if you're looking for a wrap, are you talking about something that Wayne would put on there? Is that what you're
Yes.
referring to? Yeah, Wayne is,
Without recommending a specific contractor,
I
yes.
understand what you're saying. However, Wayne says a wrap would not work well on
He,
there.
he did,
And
okay.
the reason why is because of the ridges
ridges.
that's there.
Well, I did preface that with I was not an expert.
No. No, but I'm just saying it's painted. Now, if you're talking the difference between hand painted with a brush or hand painted with a spray paint, I can't tell you the difference between which one's better than the other. But if you are a painter, you're welcome to come out there and look at it. No, go for it.
But this is something that will be permanent. I
That's the
guess
plans.
Okay.
That's the
Will be
plans. And then if
painted.
it needs to be repainted, touched up later on, that's the plans for it to be there.
And does this side of the building face any residential homes?
Faces trees. It's
Okay.
on the back side. If you go back,
I see.
so that right there that you're seeing right there on there is Azalea Park. That's actually a creek right there as well. If you would be familiar with Fourth
Crestwood.
Avenue, are you familiar with Fourth Avenue?
Doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
exists,
So that is actually Fourth Avenue that you're looking at right there. It doesn't exist. It's between Third and Fifth. That's where they put Fourth Avenue, but it
Okay.
doesn't exist anymore.
When I just see Presley Avenue, I know there's some houses down there
Right.
in Presley.
Jane, I did go over to the site. Admittedly, it was during Flower Town. I don't know why I picked that time. But you cannot see, and there's also a pretty substantial berm there that, I mean, if you're walking up, you're not gonna even see the building unless you get over that berm.
Are you familiar with Wesley United Methodist Church? So between Wesley and Bethany, there's a wooded area. There's also a pathway that is there between there. That's on Wesley side of the creek. And that's the only thing that is there.
Just
My
asking.
looking at this is more looking at approving a concept. If you're looking to reproduce the picture that's up there now, that's fairly detailed.
The concept that we were looking at was probably the other concept, the other picture that you were looking at, that one there. I gave several options to Rebecca or because we didn't know. And we're still at the point of trying to figure some things out with it.
Can that one be enlarged?
But you're correct. There is detail with that.
And my feeling is that it's not going to look very good with that kind of detail with the ridges in it. I was wondering, I have no issues at all with putting up a mural like that on the back wall, but wonder if you might be much happier coming up with a solid surface for that, or stretching a canvas across the back. And
So to answer your
Yeah.
question to that, when we get closer to the person who would be looking at it, I would agree with what you're saying, letting them tell us what's going to be best with the ridges that we're
Okay.
dealing with.
well, then let's consider this as approving or disapproving a concept. How does that sit with y'all?
And when they have more details on,
Yes.
okay, they need to come back.
Someone want to make a motion?
Would they need to come back or just staff approval?
I think they need to come back. My view is,
So, all right, so do we care what the ridges look like or without? I mean, I guess I can't help but wonder. I mean, it's the back of the church and it obviously needs to be painted. So if it happens to be a mural, now if they don't like the look of it, they can always change it. But and I know this particular area is where they set up a little marketplace in the back.
It is.
And so this picture they're showing kind of mimics that. I just, I certainly don't want to stall the process for them in trying to figure out
I don't-
ridges or no ridges.
Doesn't sound like they're
Yeah,
at a go position to start with.
sure.
So from my perspective, I think we can either approve or not approve the concept of what they want to do. And then once they find out how they're going to execute it, then we can approve it at that point or
Okay.
modify it. But I'll let somebody else make
Yeah,
motions.
For me personally, I'm fine with approving the concept and then whether it's flat or whether they feel like they can get away with it with the ridges, let's leave it to staff, as far as the paint material. But yeah, if we need to see him again, if that's what y'all ultimately decide, I mean,
But it would need to be similar to this artwork that they presented here, right? Like not something completely different.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I have about 1,500 people there that will also give me the same responses that you're giving me as well.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I can make a motion that we conceptually approve this mural. And they'll need to come back with specifics on the image and also the application process.
Have a second?
Now, second,
Okay, in favor? Tim?
Aye.
Don?
Aye.
Ken? Beth?
I-
Jane?
Yes.
And I also, yes.
Thank y'all very much. Appreciate y'all's being here.
Yeah.
yeah, it's awesome.
All right, our last agenda item for the evening is going to be a request for final approval for the renovation of an existing back porch on a residence at 126 West 5th South Street. The requested enclosure of the existing rear porch is not visible from the right of way and appears to meet all zoning requirements. The proposed design is sensitive to the existing design of the house, following BAR guidelines. And I will hand it over to the applicant and y'all just let me know where you would like me to jump around.
Okay, hi all. I'm Kirsten Abrahamson. I'm with Lean 2 Studios, the architect that Sandy and Clay Thornton have engaged to renovate their existing screen porch into an enclosed screen porch or enclosed porch. It is, yeah, Becca's showing it right there. That's the current location, the footprint, and we're sticking to the footprint. The current property is at its limit sort of for impervious surface. So we're staying with the footprint that exists. You can see in the photos, the screen porch on the back of the existing structure. And we're just planning on demolishing that. It's probably its structure, while supporting itself right now, is not something we feel we can build on, or we need to meet seismic and structural requirements. So the existing porch would be removed and a new structure put in its place. Yeah, so here's the demolition plan on the right and the new plan on the left. We're also proposing a picket fence that mirrors the front picket fence, though taller, that's going to screen the existing package unit, mechanical package unit. So if you look down on the right, that center one is showing a panelized base with double hung windows. To the right is maybe a little different condition. That's the one that is close to the neighbor's driveway. And so we're looking at a panel, a shutter system that would just be a permanent shutter system. Panelized base there as well, but then on the left side, where the mechanical unit is, the wraparound of the double hung windows continues. The house itself has sort of a variety of different wood muntin configurations on the porch, on the house itself. So we've adopted a 4/1 window system. And that reference to the 202 East Richardson porch is just sort of a basis, kind of gives you a visual of what we're kind of continuing along that vein. Although the entire porch will be painted white, but the base will be a dark taupey brown to match the existing structure. And, as good as those samples show, but we're just matching the existing.
You go to 33, please. It's not,
Looks a little green right now, but in these photos, but it is more of a taupey brown.
where are the elevations?
Oh, sorry, 34.
Okay, all right.
Are those shutters fixed?
Yes.
Any comments?
I think it looks lovely
Thank you.
and more useful than the screen
More
porch.
useful.
Last time I was here, I had a hand-drawn picture, so I decided to get Kirsten for this one, so I didn't have to hear about my hand-drawn picture. last
We
time.
appreciate that.
Thank you, Ben.
Looks great.
She's got a much finer hand than you did.
I appreciate you going as far as doing the fixed shutters. That to me is wonderful. Very appropriate.
It's keeping that craftsman design of our house is what Kirsten did, and that's why if you look at the front door, very craftsman. So we're gonna have everything matching up, and with the windows with the 4 over, one light. We've already gotten, Berlin G. Myers can have them made for us. So we know that can be done. Just like that.
Any other comments?
Any chance we could make it bigger? Come on, over right here. I mean,
We really wanted to cantilever it out and extend it towards the backyard by about
Okay.
18 inches or 2 feet, but
I mean, I know we're at our total impervious, but I mean.
Yeah.
But it can't leave it really.
but
just
apparently our UDO talks about impervious surface being the roof,
fly.
so not the footprint. So
Any wiggle room there at all.
They don't have purview.
Yeah.
they don't, we'd have to go to zoning.
You can rip up the concrete, put down gravel anywhere you can.
We're already there.
Gravel only counts as 25%. So 1,000 square feet of gravel is 250. As far as, but
Yeah, we're
I
already.
don't know if there's any pads, but
You want to go to zoning, we can do it. We can try it.
It's always
Maybe.
something to think about.
Mhm.
I mean, y'all approved the concept, we went to zoning, they gave it, the problem is
We'd
a
have to
8
come
foot
back.
wide porch is miserable. Anybody knows that. You can't hardly sit side, and that's why we want it that 9.5 to 10 feet. And so, I mean, I'm just asking, would it make sense to go to zoning? I don't mind. I want to build what we want. I want to build something. We're very much in the historical district. Matter of fact, our house is the picture that's on the historical bulletin. It talks about it. So, I mean, we want to keep that in. Everybody knows me. I was born and raised here. I don't want to make any changes, but we would like a more useful back porch. That's the truth.
So I don't know if we've met. We probably have. I'm Becca. I'm the zoning administrator. So normally you won't see me at these meetings. You'll see our new planner too, Jim. But I do facilitate the Board of Zoning Appeals. Unfortunately, I completely appreciate your request and understand the reasoning behind it. But zoning variances have to meet 4 state mandated criteria, which present a true, in order to present a true hardship. Unfortunately, this request would not meet that. I'm happy to look at places on your property where we can maybe remove some surface and add back. I know it's tight, but that is the nature of these lots within the historic district, especially, in this area, they tend to be smaller.
I just wanted to make sure I brought it up,
Absolutely.
Ju-
Yeah.
ju-
Anytime you want to talk about anything like that, I'm more than happy to talk to you
I
about.
would love for you to stop by it and see if there's anything that's all right with.
Well, if you can find me some time, I would be happy
You're doing
to,
2
but
jobs, so.
yes. Again, if there's anything or you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.
So just to be clear, what are we conceptually approving this tonight?
No, they're
if we're-
requesting
if
final
we're not- if-
approval.
If we're not gonna get it 2 feet wider, then let's just go.
And that's not our,
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. And it,
Yeah.
Becca, it's not gonna happen anyway. So I just
Mhm.
wanted to bring it up.
Good ask.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I appreciate you, putting the picket fence around the HVC. Oh, that makes such a difference. Yeah, I have one question. Where you have the stucco going on, are those gonna be concrete?
Most,
block?
I believe there'll be concrete block, and then a skim coat of stucco over it to give it a finished look.
I would just suggest doing maybe a brick paver or something to be consistent with the brick, all the way around the house. Something that could match that. It would
Yeah,
be-
the tricky part is that it has a projection to it. And so if, I'm happy to look at that. We have to tuck the concrete block back. And then, so there'll be a little cantilever, but I can certainly engage in that when I work with the structural engineer to design the structural system. So if you,
It just would help. It would complete your eye around the house.
Yeah.
That might be nitpicky, but that's the only thing that I saw that
yeah,
may
and
stand out.
we get into a tricky situation just because you're not building those piers of brick anymore, which they're existing. And so we typically build out a concrete block and then you add another layer of brick to it. So it either projects out from, I'm looking at Don nodding, so I know he's knowing what I'm talking about, but it projects out and then you have to have a drip edge that covers that. It changes the section cut visually of it. You can tuck it back in, but that's not where your structure sits. So it's a little bit of a dance. I've done it before, but often I find sometimes it just works well. Like that whole base would get a dark taupe finish. You have the horizontal lattice that's there, and so the whole thing will go away. I'm not sure, how much will be revealed because I don't have a topo survey, topography lines. So it may be even shallower, less exposed than you see in that drawing. We really won't know because we're trying to match the existing floor height and coming out. But if that's a request, we can make that happen.
Will there be any plantings?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Things like-
Plantings?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's out of my department.
I mean, it may be completely obscure.
yeah.
Get that board back.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's done everything.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, and I think being at the back of the property and it's even off the corner, I mean, you'd be the only ones ever seeing it. So, I mean, I couldn't, yeah, now I think what you were referring to though was is more of a brick tile. It's not a full size brick. You were
Right.
just
Thin
talking-
brick.
Yeah, just a little thin,
It's just.
but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's different than trying to fur it out
Mhm.
4, 5 inches, whatever, but
Like a veneer. Yeah.
I know on other homes, we've always suggested using a tabby. It's instead of the stucco, using a tabby or a brick paver to cover.
Okay.
Yeah. That would be my only, other than that, I think it's beautiful, very appropriate.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I'm fine to make a motion to approve.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay. All right, start with Tim,
Well, aye, yep.
Don,
That's,
and Ken,
I
Beth, Jane, and me, yes. So, thank you all.
Thank you.
can't wait to see it.
Can't even.
All right, thank you everyone for coming out. That's our last agenda item. I don't have anything miscellaneous other than I think I introduced you all to Jim before the meeting started. So hopefully things will be much more consistent once Jim gets the hang of everything. But do y'all have anything for us?
You want to keep these?
I'll keep it, yeah, and I can add in the interiors. Oh, that's what, can I get a final head count? And I'm just gonna make one for Kimsey. Do y'all all want a notebook, a new notebook with, because some of you, well, really only maybe Beth and Jane probably have one. A copy of chapter 13 of the UDO, which explains all the design review requirements and the board makeup. And then I include the historic district guidelines as well. Would y'all like a printed copy?
In the Secretary of Interior's guidelines.
Yes, we're gonna add that part, because it is referenced in your guidelines, but not explicit, so we need to figure out how much of that to include, because
I think one should be available for every member of the BAR. And if we have to make reference to it, we can all be looking at the same thing.
yeah, sure. We'll talk more about that as I pull that together and
We greatly appreciate it finally being done.
Becca, can you put in that notebook, is it, are the meeting dates? Like
the schedule, yeah, of course,
Schedule of meeting
absolutely.
dates and perhaps a way to, somebody's phone number that we can get in touch with. Your phone or?
Yeah. I mean, it'll,
Contact of other members or,
oh, you want everybody, if everyone else is okay with it.
yeah, or their email or whatever.
Okay. All right,
'Cause sometimes we're all running late and.
That's fine.
Just.
that's fine. We can put together a contact sheet for y'all.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna put Jim's phone number on there though, not mine.
Okay. I have a motion to adjourn. Okay.
All right, folks. Thank you.